Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Friday Night Magic. Today we will be playing Lords of Darkness, the Lords of Darkness deck. Got some huge creatures, some early removal. All around, I like it. We'll talk about the deck as we go through. This opening hand is okay. I'm gonna draw a new one though. Okay. I like this. This is good. We're gonna keep this hand. All right. So the idea with this deck is we've got some big creatures. Now there's a handful of ways that this Duels 2014 deals with large creatures. If you guys don't know, by the way, Duels 2015 has been announced. It's really exciting. So some of them is acceleration of playing them, like mana acceleration. Some of them is acceleration of playing them through graveyard fetch. So this particular deck accelerates with Heartless Summoning, and then survives the early game with removal, and that's exactly what I just told you this is what we do. So Heartless Summoning makes it so that my creature spells cost 2 less to cast. That is pretty big. It does also make it so that they get -1/-1. However, my creatures are innately so large in this deck that that's okay. We don't really mind that so much. So that turns this demon here from an 8-drop 6/6 to a 6-drop 5/5. That's a fair trade-off. That's a fair trade-off. And then beyond that, we've got just the early removal. We've got things like Hideous End, we've got Doomblade, we've got the Damnations, all that stuff. Lots and lots of removal, be it target removal, mass removal, or mass damage. I think there's a single Mutilate in this deck as well, which is damage based off the swamps that you have. It's all sorts of stuff. And we're actually playing against a deck right now that is also about getting big creatures in play. However, his deck is about mana acceleration as opposed to decreased mana cost. We're running 26 lands in the deck because there's no other way. You know, you're gonna need a lot of lands to play this stuff. And I've just got 4 removal spells right now, 2 of which are a mass removal. So this is great. He's gonna have some huge creatures. He's gonna be playing some gigantic creatures, right? We're just gonna be able to remove them right away. The only thing that is going to stink is that he's going to get that huge benefit when he plays a Primeval Titan. But beyond that, anything else that he plays, we're just going to be able to remove. We just have that option. Unfortunately, though, we still have to wait on 2 more lands before we can even play this demon. There are a few 5- and 6-drop demons, which if we draw into, we will be able to play right away, because we've got the 4, and we, of course, here have the Heartless Summoning. So all that stuff works together. All right, he's got a bunch of land fetch, bunch of land fetch. Here's the Rampant Growth. He also played an Explore, although I don't believe he got that draw off of that. And now we're just sitting. We're either waiting to draw into one of our 5 or 6 drop demons, or we're waiting to draw into 2 more lands so that we can play this guy. And this guy, look at this guy. Enters the battlefield, destroy all non-artifact, non-black creatures. They can't be regenerated. I mean, it's really pretty awesome. We're not going to be killing this because it's just a 1/1. By the time that thing gets even close to killing us, it's not. We don't mind that in play. We want to save all of our removal for his big, scary threats, and that's pretty much it. And he's going to go Farhaven Elf. It lets him get a land. That's also going to put a counter here on the Hard Expedition. Once he gets 3 counters, he gets to go and get more lands. And right now, it's just the waiting game, unfortunately. All right, we're 1 land away from being able to play our big old demon, or now we can draw into one of our 7-drop demons and be able to play it right away. It's funny because we've got a ton of removal, which is fantastic. The early game is slow because he's not playing anything we care to remove, but trust me, it will come into effect. It will come into great effect at some point. The question is, though, do we live long enough to get our stuff in play and then kill him with it? The Oracle of Moldiah. Now that's actually something that's probably worth killing. Let's just throw this at it. Just gonna throw that at it. Just because it lets him play a lot more lands and filter through everything very quickly, and that's something I absolutely don't want to happen. Now we can Tendril of Corruption, which deals damage to a creature. We gain life equal to the number of swamps we have. But we're not gonna do that right now. With such a slow start for this deck, I'm really actually surprised that we don't have any of our... that we haven't pulled into any of our lower cast creatures. I mean, this is probably I think this might be the most expensive creature in the game. I don't think there's anything more than an 8-drop. I could be wrong though. I don't remember. It's been a little bit since I actually took a look at this deck list. He's just gonna keep picking away at us, and unfortunately we're just gonna keep taking it. Now we're gonna offset all this early damage once we do play the Tendrils, but not playing the Tendrils yet. Okay, so here we go. Finally get a creature in play. It's gonna be a 6/6. It's 5/5 because of this. Destroy all creatures when it comes into play. So we get rid of those little dinky guys. Now he's running. If he's running probably one of the better versions of this deck, then he does have all his dust. So he might throw that down at us right now, which will get rid of all colored permanents, which will also get rid of this, unfortunately for us. One of the very few things in Duels that can get rid of enchantments. Oh, he doesn't have it? Or didn't play it, I don't know, but we're gonna start hitting him for 5 now. 5 in the air every turn. We're only gonna need a few of these, and that'll be all she wrote for him. So if he had an All His Dust, he's got the mana to play it, so I'm guessing he didn't have it. So unless he top decks it, he's gonna be in a bit of trouble here. All right, there's his 8. That gets him his 3rd quest counter. That lets him sacrifice that to go ahead and get some more lands into play. So he gets 2 more into play tapped. Now, can he play anything with what he has here is a question. Okay, so he is gonna play a Crusher, and we are just going to remove that right away. With this bad boy, destroy target non-black creature. And he also loses life. Loses 2 life for this card. So then we hit him for 5 again. We are really slim on the creatures here. So I mean, this is great. Like, this is all we need right now. Again, unless he pulls into that All His Dust, this is all we need. We'll just keep plugging away with this, and now at this point we only need 2 more turns, or 1 more turn plus an additional damage if we draw into anything that can push that through. So this is a very neat card, and this is really what the deck sort of focuses around. Alright, so there's the All His Dust. Gets rid of all that. All colored permanents is what it removes. And now we're kind of just sitting here. What a strange game. What a strange game. Again, anything he plays, we're gonna get rid of pretty quickly. Alright, so he plays this, he gains life, and in response, we are going to Tendrils it, which will do 7 damage, and we will gain 7 life. He gets to draw a card when that goes in the graveyard, but at least he's not hitting us with it now. We still have 3 forms of mass removal, and now we're just, I guess, hoping for top decks, basically. Top decks into creatures so that we can actually try to kill him. This is really ridiculous. This is such a slow-paced game. I mean, we are playing against 2 decks that... We're each playing with a deck that centers around massive creatures. So I guess it kind of makes sense that it's a slow-paced game. But boy, oh boy. Here's an Artisan, which will let him, when it comes into play, fetch a creature from his graveyard. He's going to pull back the Worm. Oh no, he pulls back a Crusher. Oh, that's perfect for us, because we're going to Damnation. Alright, so we're going to Damnation and get rid of all of his creatures here. Damnation. And then we just pass the turn. And we still have, we've got all removal right now. Here's another Tendrils of Corruption, another Damnation, a Diabolic Edict, which forces a player to sack a creature, and a Doomblade. So keep them coming, man. Keep playing your creatures. All right, here we go. There's another one. Let's Tendrils him again so that we gain life once again. Tendrils of Corruption, we gain the life. Oh, he gets all the effects too. He gets the life gain from his creature coming into play. That's just an effect of the Worm, if you're wondering. It's not, my spell didn't give him life, but this coming into play gives him life. When it dies, he draws a card. And, okay, here's another Heartless Summon. Actually, we probably didn't need to play that. I don't know. That only just hurts my creatures, most likely. Because we, as far as I'm aware, we've got enough mana to play anything that we would want to play. So that might have actually been a mistake. What is going on? Now he's at 20, I'm at 32, like, his game. Boy. I wonder if we can get him to deck himself. He's down to 29 cards. That's a long ways away. That's not likely to happen. But he's gonna be getting close to having all of his lands. Okay, It That Betrays. Gonna force him to sacrifice. Sacrifice a creature. He only has one creature to choose, so It That Betrays goes into the graveyard. It's a Pestilence Demon. 7/6 flying. It'll be a 6/5 because of this. Yeah, I shouldn't have played this. Just did it by habit. But you can also tap it to deal 1 damage to each creature or player, so it's a good way for me to get rid of small creatures, to push through extra damage, stuff like that. In fact, what I'll probably do is before the end of his turn, if nothing happens with this, I'm gonna ping for damage to everyone. Do 3 damage to everyone. Just try to get him closer to death, because he's got less life than we do. So that's exactly what we're likely to do before the end of his turn. Okay. Pestilence Demon for 3. 3 damage to each creature and player. So that brings him down to 17, gets rid of the creature he had in play. This goes down to a 6/2. It's fine though, because it's not Hearthstone, so it's all only per the turn. Okay, and then we go combat phase. We hit him for 6. We might be able to kill, if he can't get rid of Pestilence Demon, we're probably gonna be able to kill him with it. So, because we can push through 9 extra damage right now. Actually, does it all trigger? I don't know if I can push it through before it kills itself. I don't know exactly. Alright, so I'm gonna push through this damage here. I think I can push through all of it. I'm gonna go all the way. We're gonna do the 9 damage. I think it can do it. I don't know if it kills itself and it can't trigger those effects, or if it all happens at the same time. Oh, it happens one at a time, so I think I just tapped all my mana for nothing. Okay. Well, now I know. So I can't do it beyond what he will survive. I didn't know if if I could stack it all, and then it would all... Oh, it's still going. Okay. Was it still going? Yeah, it's still going. Yes! Alright. Good. So it did work out the way I thought. It did work out. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now he's down to 2. Pestilence Demon shenanigans. Let's throw our Rune Scar Demon in play. Let's just search our library for a card, put it into our hand. He's at 2 life. I don't even know what I want to look for. We could get a Promises of Power. We could go for another Pestilence Demon. Let's go with another Pestilence Demon. Wait, where is it? There it is. So next turn we could play it and then just ping him off for the last 2. If he manages to kill this is what I'm thinking. If he manages to kill this next turn, we can just play the Pestilence Demon and then do the final 2 damage to kill him. He's gonna Oracle Moldai, which lets him look at the top card of his library. If it's a land, he can play it. It also lets him play an extra land each turn. He's gonna Eldrazi Conscription, which makes his creature huge, but he can't exactly hit us with it this turn. Plus, I can tell him to sacrifice a creature. He's probably flipping tables right now. He's probably flipping tables right now. Everything he's tried to do. Alright, so we're just gonna play it safe. We're gonna move into the combat phase. We'll attack him for 6. If he kills this, we can win with a Pestilence Demon. That's it. That's the game. Wow. Man, crazy match. Crazy match. Let's go on to another. Game number 2 here against Rule Breaker. That first game was a bit crazy. It just started off so slow, but yeah, that was fun. That was a fun game. We're gonna draw a new hand. We can't, with only 1 swamp, we really can't. Really can't afford to take it. This is not fantastic, but we will go ahead and keep it anyways. I mean, it's nice. I've got some cards here that are fun to play. I've got some removal. All that stuff's great. But we want that accelerate of the Heartless Summon, so hopefully we draw into it. Because if we do, man, this thing is... It's crazy. I mean, if we draw it next turn, we can do a turn 3 Halo Hunter, which is awesome. A 6/3 Intimidate. Very, very awesome. No, that's not going to happen, though. Alright, so now at this point, we're just going to rely on our removal and stuff. Good luck, have fun, you too. We'll just be relying on our removal and waiting till turn 5 to play that Halo Hunter. You know, I mean, of course we can still draw into it. There are 3 of the Heartless Summons in this deck, so... We will have to see. We are playing against the Phantasm deck, which is sort of annoying. I know what he's going to do next turn. I'm gonna make him get rid of that. I don't even want him to get started with all this crazy damage that he will be able to do to me. Now, if he plays a creature next turn, I'm not going to remove it, because then the turn after, I can mutilate across the board. We expect him to keep playing creatures, by the way. So, alright. Oh, never mind. Here's a divination, so he draws 2 cards. Alright. Drawing them cards. Drawing them cards. Well, luckily we've drawn plenty of lands so far, and again, we have a lot of removal. This is going to be huge against this particular deck we're playing against. Because he'll have a lot of mid-range creatures. Creatures, not mid-range in the sense of, like, they're meant for the mid-game, but in the sense that they're low to medium health pools. Like, anywhere in the vicinity of, like, 2 to 4 health. So the Mutilate will be huge against those types of creatures. We're gonna keep the bear in play. I'm gonna let him keep that bear. We'll find out right now if he's got a counterspell. If he has it, I almost rather him use it on this than my Mutilate, so. Okay, so he doesn't. So I would attack and then Mutilate most likely. Here's the Lord of the Unreal. This is the sort of stuff that he does, so he's gonna pump up all of his other phantasms, and there's a phantasmal image. Okay, this is... So what's gonna happen here, he's gonna hit us for 4, we're gonna hit him for 6, and then we are going to Mutilate and get rid of everything he has. Or I could just block so I take no damage. No, you know what, I'll take this damage so that I can hit him for 6. He can't block it because of Intimidate. And then I'll Mutilate, which will get rid of everything. Unfortunately, I also lose my creature with the Mutilate, but honestly, that's fine. Because he's got much bigger threats in play. Now he can't counter because he's tapped out, so this is the perfect situation now. So we bring him down to 14, then we throw down a Mutilate. We still have enough mana to Doomblade if he throws another creature in play. And we also have the Tendrils of Corruption. The reason I was okay with taking that damage to return some damage to him is that the Tendrils give us life gain to offset the damage he's dealt to us. His deck doesn't have life gain. He doesn't have that benefit. Alright, so I'm going to throw down a Doomblade to get rid of his creature. Unfortunately for his deck, even if he counters these things, the creature is still targeted, and all these Phantasms, they have to be sacrificed if they become targeted by anything. We're going to try Ridsguard Demon. Wow, really? No counterspell? Okay. Alright, so we've got 7 lands. I'm going to pull through for another creature. Pestilence Demon. It's a little much, though. And this timer is so short, I really need to... Yeah, let's go with this guy. Let's go with the Lord of the Void. Okay, so it costs 7/7 flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 7 cards of their library. And put a creature card from them into the battlefield under your control. Yep, it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. If we can get that in play and hit him with that, that's going to be a big problem for him. Already, we've got the 6/6 flyer, so he's going to have to deal with this. He's going to play a 5/5. Okay, we are just going to force him to get rid of that with the Hideous End. No, we can't do that, actually. Oh, can I? Do I have enough? Yes, I do. 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got enough to do what I want to do here. We're going to Hideous End this, and then we're going to Tendril of Corruptions his other creature. Right? That's enough? Yes, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Hideous End. We can't target his Phantasm when the Lord of the Unreal is in play. But now that the Lord of the Unreal is gone, we can Tendrils of Corruption. We're going to kill his creature. We're going to gain life, and now he does not have the blocker so that I can hit him for 6. So now we gain... Oh, you know what? No, we don't gain the life because it didn't deal the damage because it had to be sacrificed. I see. So we don't gain the life, but we still get rid of the creature. So that's okay. And we deal 6 damage to him. I mean, that's the big thing. I wanted to get rid of the creature so that we could hit him. Unfortunately, because the thing is sacrificed before it can take that damage, we don't gain that life, so... Alright, so before anything else, I am going to attack him for 6. And if he's got nothing to deal with this... Okay, so he is going to throw down an Unsummon. Now, the question is, we can try to kill him with the Corrupt. Or we can try to play a creature. Whatever we try to do, if he's got a counterspell, he will be counterspelling it. But if he doesn't, then we win right here. So let's just give it a shot. Here's the counterspell. Okay. So now this makes it so we're going to be able to play our creatures, or he's got one less option to stop us from playing our creatures. He's going to divination. He's probably going to get counters here. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Oh, he only has one card in his hand. Okay. Now let's try to throw down Lord of the Void. Is this one card a counterspell? No, it is not. It could be an unsummon though. So the Lord might be going away. I wonder if playing a Runescarred Demon might have been a better choice. Because if we hit him, we're going to win no matter what. At least with this, we could have pulled in another card. I'm almost guessing that he's got an unsummon here, to be honest with you. Alright, well, let's find out. We're going to swing for 5, or 7, excuse me. And it looks like that's the game. Alright, game number 2. Let's move on to a third and final match. And our final game for today against Black Mana Symbol, Black Mana Symbol, PL, Black Mana Symbol, Black Mana Symbol. We get to play first. We have got the Heartless Summoning. We've got the Halo Hunter. We've got some removal. Yes, please. Let's keep this hand. Second turn, Heartless Summoning. Within the next 2 turns, if we draw a swamp, third turn, Halo Hunter. 6/3 Intimidate. What's up? The Halo Hunter isn't even so much used for the fact that it destroys an angel. It's mostly used for the fact that it's a 6/3 Intimidate. It's a 6/3 Intimidate. We have to draw into a land next turn for us to be able to get this off, but it's crazy. I mean, there'll be a 5/2 Intimidate, but it's a 5/2. It's a 5/2 because of the Heartless Summoning. It'll be a 5/2 Intimidate for 3. Again, that's worth it. Totally worth it. All right, he's playing the Metalcraft deck. Oh no. Artifact creatures. He can block the stuff that I'm gonna try to do. He's just gonna get an artifact in play when I do this. I can't believe we didn't draw a land. That's unbelievable. We got 26 lands here. Damnation will be pretty important in this game. Let's see if he plays something else here. It's just gonna come back, but that's gonna happen no matter what anyways. Because he has that in play, this is just, I might as well not take this damage. Eventually that whole process of it coming back is going to happen anyways, so at least we get it out of the way now. And we prevent that damage as well. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Oh, we need mana! We've got this to reduce the mana cost of our creatures, but we need to draw into mana, or else we're in trouble. We need to draw into mana. Come on, mana. Where are you? Gonna do it again. Prevent this damage. We still have more removal. Now he's got no artifacts in play. So why is that, like, it's a 1/1. Why would you use 2 Diabolic Edicts on a 1/1? His deck revolves around getting artifact creatures in play, or just getting artifacts in play and then triggering Metalcraft. So that is why Halo Hunter's perfect right now, first of all, because this needs to be triggered with Metalcraft before it becomes a 5/5 creature. So now we've got this guy, he's got no artifact creatures to block it, and we can kill it. And if he does play an artifact creature, we have got the Hideous End to kill whatever he might play. Now he could play damage. Okay, there's a 5/4 first strike. Okay, so we can Hideous End that. We're fine. This thing's dead. Hideous End. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We could also Tendrils of Corruption it. Let's just Hideous End though, because Tendrils of Corruption, yeah, we're just gonna Hideous End. So Hideous End gets rid of his creature. Actually, no, he couldn't have blocked it anyways, but we don't want this in play. So he couldn't have blocked it anyways, I'm sorry, because this is not an artifact or black creature. This is a red and white creature. So he would have taken that 5 damage either way, but we didn't want this in play. Trust me, 5/4 Metalcraft, 5/4 first strike. So it would have hit me for 5 next turn, plus the Metalcraft. Creatures you control get pumped up. +3/+0, like that's something we couldn't have had happen. There's an imprint, he's gonna get rid of my creature, becomes a copy of it, so a duplicate turns into a 6/3. We are going to make him sacrifice it. Target player sacrifices a creature. He's only got 1 creature. There it goes. Okay. All right, so we've lost our creature. We have managed to deal some damage to him. We still have 2 removal spells in hand. He's going to play another Rusted Relic. It's going to be hilarious once he gets these triggered. I'm going to Damnation. So if he plays all he needs to do is play an artifact creature, and then I'll Damnation for super value. And we can play a Runescarred Demon right now. This is unreal, the Heartless Summoning. So Runescarred Demon. Okay, so we've got 5. We can play any 7-drop, such as how we just played this. So let's look through for 7-drop that we want. I actually really like that, because it's a lot of card draw. I really like this because it's a lot of card draw, and it's only going to cost us 2. Or, excuse me, 3 to play. It's just a lot of card draw. At the beginning of my upkeep, I can lose a life and draw a card. It's pretty huge. Here's a duplicate, another one, wow. So this does that, triggers that. Oh, these guys don't have Summoning Sickness now? I was hoping when they turned into creatures that have Summoning Sickness. That is not the case. He hits us for 10 out of nowhere. He's probably gonna win this game. I'm clearing the board next turn, but still, this is terrifying. We're down to 10 now, just like that. All right, so the obvious play here is Damnation. Just clear his board. Goodbye to everything. That was scary, man. Just like 10 damage. 10 damage, just like that. Just Druid Satchel. Tap 2. Tap a card, reveal top card of your library. If it's a creature, you can put a 1/1 green Saproling into play. Alright, so here is our Blood Gift Demon. During the upkeep, target player draws a card and loses a life. I'll be using it on myself, most likely, just because I want to draw cards. Alright. So he gets to put a 1/1 into play because of what he just revealed. Because I want card draw, and we have the Tendrils of Corruption, so we're gonna be able to gain a bunch of life, which is good. We've got blockers for his little dinky guys here, so if he tries to attack us, and then we can hit him with the 4/3. So this is good. All right, so we're gonna pick ourselves. We draw a card, we lose a life. This brings us down to 9. Remember, we're gonna offset a lot of this life loss with the Tendrils of Corruption. Plus, we get the card draw obviously for our turn. That's why you saw that extra card there. All right, so first things first. I will attack him in the air. I'm not going to try to play any creatures till my second main phase. We're going to attack him in the air with the 4/3. Okay, that goes through. As long as he can't surprise us with 9 damage, we're going to play a Lord of the Void. We still have the mana to Doomblade. Lord of the Void is a 6/6. When it deals damage to him, we get to exile the top 7 cards of his library. Any of those that are creatures, we get to put into play under our control. He's going to Satchel again. Reveals that is not a creature, so we cannot get a 1/1 token. But we do know what he's with this happening, we know what he's getting too. So he's gonna be able to play this to get 2 1/1s into play. And that triggers any Metalcraft that he might have. So if he plays a card with Metalcraft, that'll happen. We can remove though, remember, we've got the Doomblade. And we don't have the win here, but we're gonna pick ourselves, lose a life, draw a card. This brings us down to 8. Whenever a player casts a non-black spell, that player loses 1 life. That's really good for this situation. Although, yeah, let's see if he doesn't have counter spells, so this is just coming into play. So he's gonna be taking, what is this? Tap target creature. If you control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. 4, 5, 6. I wonder if in response I can stop that exile from happening. I think, no, he's gonna, no, actually. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. We're gonna see if in response, if I can stop that exile from happening. I don't know if the Metalcraft applies. I don't know if the Metalcraft effect still applies in me getting rid of these 2 creatures. Let's find out. If the Metalcraft, so I'm getting rid of his artifacts. So as far as I'm aware, the Metalcraft should not apply. It should just tap it. Yes. And we get, oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's beautiful. So the Metalcraft did not apply. So instead of him exiling this, it just tapped it. And we gained some life. He's down to 7. Whenever he plays a non-black spell, he's going to lose a life. All spells he plays will force him to lose a life. And we're up at 16. Okay, I'm gonna take 2, obviously. We're not gonna block with my 0-1 because I'd rather him lose life whenever he plays any spell. This should be the victory. I mean, I ended up throwing those spells not at huge targets, but just at targets to make sure that I didn't lose this creature here. So, I think it was probably worth it, to be honest with you. Alright, so now we move into combat phase. He is going to throw this down. Reveals that. It just does nothing, doesn't give him a thing. Then we hit him for what should be the win. For 10 in the air. See if he has removal or anything. He does not. We win the game. Alrighty, there you go. Alright, my friends, that does it for this episode of Friday Night Magic. Let's go ahead and wrap things up quickly by taking a look at the Lords of Darkness deck list. Innocent Blood, each player sacrifices a creature. We actually didn't play any of those this last game, but a lot of times in the early game, you're not necessarily going to have a ton of creatures, so this can be used to remove their creatures without sacrificing any losses yourself. We've got 3 of the Heartless Summoning. This deck sort of revolves around these cards, so I do run 3 of them. You know, it turns a 7-drop into a 5-drop, turns that 5-drop into a 3-drop. It does make them smaller, but at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it because you get these things out quicker. It's really nice. We've got the Diabolic Edict for creature removal, Doomblade for creature removal. The Suit Imp, it's just a nice little extra card I've got thrown in here. You know, non-black spells. Force that player to lose 1 life. A lot of times, because we're hitting with such large creatures, there are situations where there'll be a turn where they're left to like 2 or 3 life. This card getting out early can help you push through that extra damage to secure that kill a little bit quicker. Hideous End. Destroy target non-black creature. Its control loses 2 life. We've got the Diabolic Servitude. Creatures in my graveyard, I get to pull back into play with Servitude. It's really rather awesome. Tendrils of Corruption, creature removal plus a life gain. Mutilate, mass creature removal. Damnation, mass creature removal. Then we start moving into the creatures like the Bloodgift Demon. 5/4 flying. At the beginning of upkeep, have a player draw a card and lose a life. The Halo Hunter, the 6/3 Intimidate, which comes into play, you get to destroy an angel. Mostly used though because it's a Intimidate 6/3 creature. Promises of Power, can use it to draw 5 cards and lose 5 life, or put an XX black token with flying into play, where X is number of cards in your hand. If you pay the Entwine cost, you get to have both of those effects apply. Reaper from the Abyss, flying with Morbid at the beginning of each end step. If a creature died this turn, destroy target non-demon creature. Pretty darn awesome. Harvester of Souls, 5/5 Death Touch, so whenever it deals damage to a creature, that creature dies, no matter its toughness. And whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. You've got the Corrupt for damage. This is damage to a creature or player, and then we gain life equal to the swamps. The damage and life gain is equal to the swamps that you control. Lord of the Void, 7/7 flying, deals damage. Exile cards, get creatures from those exiled cards. The Runescar Demon, 6/6 flying. Let me search through my library for a card. Pestilence Demon, 7/6 flying, deals damage across the board. 2 of those. And then finally the Riviera Demon enters the battlefield, destroy all non-artifact, non-black creatures. They can't be regenerated. Big beefy creatures, lots of early removal, and then getting them out quicker with the Heartless Summoning. That is the deck. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next Friday for another episode of Friday Night Magic. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.